Hey, everybody. Welcome to another special edition of Powerful on Purpose, where we are talking to women who are in the Wake Up Revolution book because they have a powerful, important message to share with the world. And today's guest is no exception, Rhetah Kwan. And let me pull up her because she is pretty freaking amazing having spent some time with her. I wouldn't even need to read the bio. I'll just tell you she's super cool. You want to connect. But she really is one of those rare people that you might meet only once or twice in your lifetime. So we're very blessed today. She's an inspiring life catalyst, a speaker, a certified life coach, a best-selling author, and a global entrepreneur. And what she does is help busy professionals stop, pause, breathe, and open the door to deeper human connection, stronger leadership, and greater success in every area of their lives, with his added benefit of awareness of personality traits and the ability to see micro expressions. We're going to learn a little bit more about that. And she also teaches people about light and water-based healing to support the body's natural intelligence. So welcome, Rhetah. So happy to have you.
Thank you, Leslie. It's such a delight to be here with you. I love connecting with you. Your spirit and your soul are so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. You're such a delight. No, I was art. What it is you do and why that matters enough to build a business or a life around it.
Well, long story short, ever since I was a child, I felt like I was trapped like an animal in a cage, suffocating, kind of longing to break free energy from this constant chaos that was my family. Angry, chaos, and big hearts, but chaos. I wanted to run, I wanted to hide. And every chance I got, I tried to do that. In the summer, I would sneak away to the back and where my mother's garden was and lay on the ground and look up at the sky and watch the light through the trees. I loved to watch the light. It gave me calm. And in the wintertime, when it was cold, I would find hiding places in this big old house we had. And I think some of these places, I'm the only one knew they were there because nobody ever mentioned them, but they were kind of spaces behind closets. And I'd take a flashlight in there and a book, but mostly I'd play with the flashlight. And I'd look at my hand under the flashlight and see the veins and things. And I was fascinated with the light and always have been. I thought, gosh, maybe I could become a photographer or something like that. But that never did happen. And once I got away, I really kind of consumed myself with, I want 100 acres in the woods, by a river, off grid, and just boom, went to work for that. And it really destroyed my health because I worked too hard. I ended up being the first employee at the first electronic medical records company. And we worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week for 10 years and just really deteriorated my health. And when I finally kind of broke loose from that, I was 54 and going on retreats, healing retreats, and I got a chance to glimpse something called my light body. And I didn't know what that was, but it was such an amazing experience. And it led me down this path of thinking about healing and light, and it's free and available. And waters, can be free and available or freer and available. At least they can't tax you on it yet.
Yeah.
And so it kept coming back to that no matter what I would do. And learning how to be in stillness, really slow down. People sometimes ask me, what do you do? I teach people how to stop. And I just stop. And then they ask me questions. And it shifts everything. When the body is depleted and out of balance, we're not experiencing ourselves and others the way you can. Let's put it that way. So that's why I got on this path, and I'm grateful to be here.
Right. And it struck me as you were talking about that. It's coming back to childhood, right? And that those things that you loved in childhood, the light, the research, the being connected in a different way than the way your family was was connecting. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, or not connected. I mean, I know they all loved each other, but it was pretty scary at first, and then just constantly uncomfortable.
Right, right. Well, you kind of alluded to this. So it sounds like there was a moment in your life, I can't keep doing it the old way. And what did that look like for you, or what realizations came up?
Well, I don't know that I don't know that it was a moment. It was this kind of slow breaking point, I think is what it felt like. After, spending all that time, 54 years of thinking, it's this. I want this dream of this place in the woods, a healing center, the gardens, the whole 9 yards. But it was when my husband's health started spiraling down. And he had always been the rock, this big bear of a man, beautiful writer, astrologer, gorgeous man, kind beyond kind. And all of a sudden, it flipped. He had a gallbladder attack, and they rushed him to the hospital and took out his gallbladder, but he got a bacterial infection that spread to his brain, and who he was completely disappeared. It was horrifying, and it stayed horrifying for 9 years until he crossed over. When all of that started happening for him, I realized I was not in good shape, that I was also spiraling down. And I had poured half my life into other people's dreams and lost my health and the precious time with my husband. So that's when I knew I'm not going to do this anymore. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I couldn't do that. And that was the returning back to, the light and breathing and getting to the point where you become more present and you're able to get back in touch with who you are on a very deep level and find this, I call it a pool because I like water, a pool of peace inside. And it made all the difference in the world.
I bet. Well, and I can visualize a pool of peace, right? I'm choosing a warm pool, just saying. So, how would you say your lived experience has shaped the way you lead today?
Well, it definitely there's no panic. There's no urgency. If there is an urgency that comes up, it's responded to in a kind of a way that's in alignment with who I am, rather than reacting to everything. There's a lot of things we can be reacting to right now on our planet. Those kind of things, they can steal um, awareness. They can steal your awareness of what is actually happening. Because sometimes it's like, look over here, look over here, look over here, right? And it's like, why step back a little further, see it from a bigger perspective? Many of us know we're living in the time of the crumbling of established structures. This has been coming my whole life, and it's here. And these structures are it's like Rome. When Rome fell, there's a timing to things. So it can look scary, yet what is really happening? So if you are not in a place in the world where you are in peril, that's different. That's a different story. And I think we all want to support that in some way. But know that you don't have to go there. You may not be the person to go. There's other people that want to go. You may not be the person that can send a lot of money. There's other people who can do that. You may not be the person that feels they can contribute at all. Taking care of yourself is contributing, right? Adding peaceful energy to what's going on with you, possibly your family, your friends. It has a ripple effect and it makes a difference. I'm working with some people that their health is such, their focus is get through the day peacefully. That's fantastic. That's a huge accomplishment.
Right.
Or if people feel they just want to curl up with a blanket and spend more time resting than doing anything else, hallelujah. Right? Let me bring you soup. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a matter of pushing, stretching yourself. For other people, maybe it is their time. They're healthy and they're strong and they want to contribute on a much higher level. The warriors, each of us know what is our highest and best contribution.
Absolutely. And I love that stealing awareness. That's a great visual and really what we let often the outside circumstances do to our lives.
Yeah. Well, we think everything's on the outside when reality is the the burnout that comes from going through illness or caregiving or pushing too hard or thinking you have to do this, you have to do this, or you have no choice.
Right.
That burns out your adrenals, and then there's a whole domino effect with your organs. Once that gets started, it's hard sometimes to turn it around. We've been able to turn it around, but for different people, depending on how sensitive they are and how high frequency they are and how much the damage is, sometimes it's hard. But you change the stillness, you incorporate the stillness, you change your energy. And when you change your energy, you change the way you live. And that can make all the difference in your life.
Cool. So, what would you say is a truth about women and power that you believe more of us need to hear?
I love this question. I think there's a story that women carry about power that is not ours. It's not our story. It's something that's been given or taken, right, or earned through exhaustion. But what if power was, say, never meant to be acquired? What if it's just inside of you all along? Think about how water constantly knows it's in the ocean. It doesn't even have to remember. It's just there. That's our ability to walk down the path and for us, remember, there's a deeper truth, basically. And I'd love for all of them to know there's a deeper truth that's waiting and that you can receive it. You can open yourself. You can, what's the word, metabolize the love, the memory that it is here, it is within us. We don't lose our power, especially with age. Sometimes we lose connection to ourselves. And many of us spend, like I did, time externally focused. I want that 100 acres in the woods, by a river, off grid, healing center, music, art, dance, gardens, everything, right? I wanted that. And the gate that I put up was I need about $6 million to kick it off. So that was the goal. It's like, okay, it's not impossible. I was 3 months away from $6 million. The company I was with got coached into Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and it was gone after 12 years. And I was crushed.
Oh, I bet.
Crushed. And mostly because it's like, I'm not supposed to have this. I thought I could have this. And so there was a confusion for a while. But the confusion came also because I was ignoring the stress, ignoring my body, ignoring my emotions. It wasn't working together with my soul and my spirit. So, I see women who are exhausted, foggy, discouraged, and immediately they think something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And what I invite them to be open to is their light is not out. Their light has just been dimmed, and we can restore the body. We can restore the mind, the emotions, and their confidence returns.
So, restore the light and remember the power.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. So, what are you building now that stretches you beyond your current comfort zone?
I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm 76 and feel younger every day. Very grateful. Even though I have my own issues, I'm still working on. My heart took the brunt of all the trauma, and I'm learning about healing the heart every day. I feel like I'm learning new things. So, what's stretching me is a long time ago, there was a TV show called Lie to Me.
Oh, yes, I saw it.
I loved that show so much, about the micro features and expressions and the face and the personality traits. I mean, the Hollywood took a hair off of the head of that process. And the process is called the art and science of reading people. And we got in, you and I are in the same networking group, right? Where we met, thank goodness. And I met a woman in there who introduced me to the current expert on the art and science of reading people. And she didn't know that I had had that attraction to it. I never told her. I mean, I still to this day have no idea how she connected the dots and suggested we connect. So his name is Alan Stevens. He's absolute amazing guy. Amazing, amazing guy. And so I am now in his master course, and I'm learning the art and science of reading people, something I wanted to do a long time ago. And I'm focusing on it because it is such a good process to understand yourself, extreme self awareness, and understand others so that you can have honoring conversations with everyone, how to have a conversation with everyone, and your relationships get better and better, lasting quality relationships with your family members, your boss, your friends. I have a friend that there's always been an edge, and now it's like it just flows because I've learned enough to be able to start doing cases. And in a very short period of time, I know how to talk to people.
Mhm.
And by the time the course is ended, in 30 seconds, you know who people are.
Mhm.
30 seconds. So that's a major focus. And I am still committed because no matter what we do with our mind and our emotions, supporting the body through the right water, the right light, and other things, of course, rest, stop. Slow is the new fast. Slow is the new fast. I feel like I'm coming full circle. When I wanted that community, I wanted to live in harmony with each other. Well, this process is the best way that I've seen to create more harmony, to bring cultures together, to bring people together who might not want or been able to get together.
Right.
And so I feel like the awakening has manifested, but instead of having to come up with $6 million and buy the land and build it and do all those things, which I'm still open to happening because I think it'd be fun, I can have that global community right now, which I have. I'm grateful to have a global community that looks at the heart and soul of healing in a way to support each other with healthy communications and relationships and healthy, vital health, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and on the soul level.
Well, I love that you've recognized that you're getting what you wanted. It's just not in the form you thought it would come in.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. I spend most of my day in gratefulness.
That's beautiful, and what a great thing for your body and for healing to be in
Yeah,
that state.
it's a miracle. It is a miracle.
So if you could sit across from the woman you were before, wherever that wherever the timeline is for you, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to stop, breathe, really pause, and go inside and integrate a practice of stillness every day, if not twice a day, to calm the nervous system and really align with herself. You know, after the experience I had when I glimpsed my light body, the teacher who was there was the one who said, "Oh, he could tell you glimpsed your light body." I said, "That's a glimpse?" He said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." He said, "If you knew how precious you are, you would fall to your knees in gratitude." So I would tell her, you don't have to sacrifice what you love to be vitally healthy, to create your dreams. You don't have to push, and you definitely don't have to be anything that is not you.
Wow. Yeah, that's super powerful. And so many of us, I'm sure, need to hear that, right? That sometimes we do get pushing and shoving, and it's wait a minute. It's more about resting and finding that spot where we can still make the difference, because things are going to happen just by our energy.
And by trusting.
Mm, yeah.
So, what if, and I believe this to be true, every time something comes up or triggers, you immediately go to asking, let's say that you believe that there's guides and angels around you all the time, and you can just ask, hey, this has come up. I would like your help. I would like this to get handled, and I'm trusting you to do that, right? You don't let go of doing your diligence. You just let go of that trigger, that reaction, that contraction that happens, and you do trust and give it away. I think people would be surprised. Over time, you build that foundation of trust, and it has taken my life and turned it into much more of a miracle.
Sure. Yeah, I think trust is huge, and that self-trust particularly. Cool. So what are you building now, and how can people step into that with you?
Well, now I'm taking cases. I work like a bit of a snail with micro expressions and facial traits, and I work with people and teach them about themselves and sometimes their loved ones or sometimes somebody at work. And then I also teach them about molecular hydrogenated water, which is so lovely, so lovely. And I teach them about profound light technologies on the planet that they can access so that they can support themselves. Because sometimes people are in a place where they're just spinning and they can do one thing and maybe it's not integrate stillness right off the bat. Maybe they can't imagine stopping.
Right.
I suggested that to a lovely man who is he's an expert at busy, like a lot of people. And he just laughed at me. I mean, that was his reaction. He wasn't making fun of me. When I said, how about considering stopping? It just flew out of him. The idea was so foreign. And so then we talked about some light therapy that he could do. That was just something he could do. He said, I could do that. That's step one. And give up sugar. Great. Huge, huge step. So I meet people where they are and I help them get what they say they want. And so there are clear paths to reconnect, restore your energy. And the technology is leaping forward. And people can connect to me on my website and join me in my dream. When we put our dreams together, amazing things happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think you had on your website consultation.
Yes. So I invite people to get a glimpse of what it's like to have a little more self-awareness, learn some information about micro expressions, about personality traits you might have, learn how to stop, pause, breathe, connect, right? And a little bit about things you can access, water and light, that can support yourself to feel enough. You're far more than enough. It's really amazing. So I give them a session, and it's called a glimpse. We don't spend all day. We spend some time together, and they get a glimpse and see if this is something they want to explore more. And it's my gift.
Yes. Well, it's beautiful, and we could go on because I like the pool of peace that you create wherever you are. So I really appreciate you joining me. It's been, as always, a delight and pleasure to have you here.
It's my honor to be here and play with you. You are so fun. You are so fun. Like I said, being with you is like standing next to this beautiful, clean waterfall. All these beautiful negative ions are just flying off of you, and the work you do and this service is extraordinary.
Well, thank you. And I do remember the waterfall. I need to visualize that at times. Step into that power.
That's right. That's
Cool.
great.
Well, be sure and subscribe, everybody, and check out the Wake Up Revolution book, because you don't want to miss not only Rhetah's story, but other powerful women who are really using their story to build businesses and impact the world in such a powerful and purposeful way.